Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is Yarn on the Beach, and we're here in Southwest Florida. We're at Vanderbilt Beach today, waiting on the sun to rise over the buildings and the trees, and this is the Gulf of Mexico behind me. Thank you all for joining me. If you're joining me live, please say hello and tell me what you're working on. If you end up watching the recorded version, please also tell me what you're working on. Good morning. I see a lot of friendly faces or friendly familiar names. Good morning, Sarah and Jenny and Stephanie, Faye, Beatrice. Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining me live. I am working on the last two rows. Good morning, Annie. Good morning, Karen, Jean, Christine, Dawn, Ava, Arlene. I think good morning, Ruthie, Nova. I see some, good morning, Jane. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Edna. See some familiar names and some new ones also. Good luck with your surgery, Ava. I am working on the second to last row of the second piece of my Morgana shawl turned cold shoulder top this morning. I'm on the second to last row. What am I drinking this morning? Sandra asked. I'm drinking organic green tea with fresh lemon juice in it this morning. I meant to put ginger in it too and I forgot. Good morning, Cheryl from South Australia. Yes, I'm wearing something I made this morning. I brought a couple of different pieces to show some options for wearing with, this is one of, I think this one I wore earlier this week. This is one of the Amazon tank top dresses that I love so much. This is the one that's navy blue with the pink flowers and the turquoise flowers and a little bit of yellow. And I'm wearing a vest that I made. I made this vest using the 3 different motifs from the Majestic Skies crochet shawl. This pattern is not published yet, but it will be soon. And so it's mostly a square motif with a triangle in rows here at the neckline and then a triangle in rounds at the hip to give it a little bit of ease. And what's funny about this is that I designed this for a magazine actually a few years ago, and it got rejected by the editor. She disliked it so much, she actually asked me if I mistakenly sent her my swatch and not my finished garment when she returned it to me. And whatever. All I can say is one man's trash is another man's treasure, and you can't control what other people are going to do or say or even think about you. Remember, someone's opinion of you is none of your business. And so I hung on to it and I said, I disagree with that, and it will get published one day. And so it's been sitting on my rack with the unpublished projects to make sure that it came out with the right collection. And so now that I'm working on a vest collection, I think it'll be perfect to come out. And I gotta tell you, I think it's one of my favorite everyday pieces to wear. Look at how cute it looks over this dress. I'll stand up so you can even see where it hits. It hits at a really nice spot, and because of the shaping of a triangle here and a triangle here, I actually think it sits very nicely. You can see the shoulder, and then I added a tie with tassels, which I think is absolutely gorgeous and on trend. And what's beautiful about this type of a project is that if you don't like this length, you could keep going. This is done in Be So Sporty yarn. It's sport weight bamboo. Depending on, you can use whatever size yarn you want when you're making motifs. The key is making sure you get the right motif gauge. So to get your size, you need to make sure that your motif turns out. So whether you go up a needle, down a needle, thicker yarn, thinner yarn, you just want to make sure, even adding a row or skipping a row in a motif, the key is getting the right size of the motif so that the finished project is the right size. Thank you. I think this color looks great with the dress too, but I wanted to show you some other pieces I know the last time I wore this dress, some people were surprised that it was navy, so I wanted to remind you that it's a very, very dark navy, but it is not black, it's navy. But I wanted to show you how some of my other yarns would look super cute with this too. So this is Little Hickory Knit Lace Cape, and that's a free pattern on my website now. And look at how cute that looks with the pop of turquoise in the dress. I think this one's super cute also, so I'll back up. So what's nice about wearing a dress that's a little bit fitted, I know we talked about that yesterday, that this is a fitted dress simply because of that seam right here at the waist. What's beautiful about that is that you can wear something flowy over the top, and because it's fitted in here, you still look put together and not overly, you know, you need a contrast if you're going to wear flowy things. You need something slightly fitted underneath. Otherwise, it just looks too full and it can end up looking unflattering. So if you're going to wear flowy stuff, it's really good to wear something tighter underneath just for that contrast, so you don't look as large as the largest flowy piece. I hope that makes sense. And then I wanted to show you, yes, it's the contrast, Edna, exactly. So even if you're not comfortable being this exposed, and I get that, I'm not always comfortable being super exposed either. One thing you can do is size up unfitted things so you still get the silhouette of the shaping without being tight, but also putting loose layers over tighter under layers, I think, is extremely flattering to look at and doesn't make you feel as exposed. Yes, you don't want to look thicker ever, Sandra. I can't think of a single example of when I want to look thicker. Even in the case of being in the wild. A wild animal would think you look tastier if you're thicker, right? I mean, I can't think of a single time when I would want to look thicker. So, here is another knit pattern that's already on my website. This is done in Be So Fine also. This is called the Wandering Love Vest. And it's a top-down raglan in garter stitch. And then it moves on to a feather and fan in the bottom. And look at how cute that looks over the dress. Again, a looser layer, but even tying it, I think, adds to that, the angles and the shaping. Well, Karen, I'm glad I give you so many good ideas, because there's nothing wrong with having lots to do, right? And there's nothing wrong with having lots of exciting lists, because then you can always flip and flop back and forth when you're more inspired for one, and you move on to something else. It's always good to have lots of things to be excited about. So I'm thrilled that I've been able to provide that for you. I know one of the things that gets me going and keeps me going every day is being excited about more projects than I have time to make. And I find that that's something that just, it keeps me bubbly, it keeps me excited, and gosh, that's the way I want to live. And if I can share that with other people, that makes me extremely happy. So thanks for sharing that. Good morning, Grace. Mary's learning something new. That's great. Glad to hear that. Sherry agrees with me. Jenny agrees with me too. Good. KB does. Yeah, always have to have something to look forward to, right? It was really chilly when I got here, but thank goodness the sun's coming up. I wanted to show you styling of some shawls over the dress also. Faye's on the Midsummer Shawlette. Oh yeah, I helped Faye in, I think I emailed you yesterday about that. And so then, you know, you can always still wear a shawl over a dress. And then you can wear a shawl in so many different ways over a dress. You have a pin, you can make, like even on a larger shawl like this, you could pin it right here. You could also pin it to the side like that. If you wanted to, you could even lace down the front of a piece like this and make it a true poncho. If you took another piece of yarn and laced down the front so that it became more of a capelet, that would be super cute. I'm going to show you what it looks like in the back. You could also, on one of these bigger pieces, I think you could even tie in, let's see, maybe not tie in, but you could probably pin here and here to make it more shrug-like. Actually, no, you would seam down the bottom of these two motifs. You could put a tie along here, and you could put a tie along here, and it would be like a shrug with kimono wide sleeves. Wouldn't that be pretty? See, because of these hexagons, you could seam from there to there. I need to bring little hair clips with me so I can pretend to seam all these things. But wouldn't that be beautiful? That would be beautiful sleeves. And then you could still pin it here so you could see the sleeve better. I would like that a lot. Okay, on my list is to get some, what was I going to say, is to get some little baby hair clips, like the ones that come on orchids, so that I can pretend sew things while I'm demonstrating. And then, I don't remember if I actually showed this the other day, but I think, you know how we're doing the, see. You know how we're taking the Morgana shawl and making it into a top like this, right? We're going to make two pieces and make it into a top. I think you could very easily do that and very beautifully do that with this piece. This is one of the shawls from Motif Magic. I'll show you what it looks like as a shawl on here. So here's the Marissa shawl, and what I was thinking is if you made two of these, seamed them at the shoulder line here, and then opened it up and seamed it at the arm, I think that that would make a beautiful summer top too. And I like the rounded edge for the hem. I think that's very flattering. Wouldn't that be beautiful as a summer top? And you could either sew it all down the shoulder and make it solid, or do an open arm, open shoulder. Either way, I think that would be really beautiful. So I would love to do two Marissas that way. And then you remember what we like to do with shawls when we don't want to wear them always as a shawl. Like, remember yesterday I showed you a bunch of ways to style a vest? Well, when I left yesterday morning, I ended up tying it as a cowl around my neck because it's hot down here now in the middle of the day. So I didn't use it as a vest at all. And so I ended up wearing it double and tied a couple of times to create like a voluminous cowl, but right here. And so I'll show you how to do that on a triangular shawl too. So this is the Brooklyn shawl from Motif Magic. Super pretty, and obviously makes a gorgeous shawl on its own, right? So you would wear it just down, and you could tie it straight. You could tie it on the corner like that. Very, very pretty. But here's another way that I think it's really fun to do. Oh, thank you, Eleni. I'm glad you like all my shawls. So I've seen it done like this before, like a kerchief. And I see people do that, leaving it down like that. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm sure there's a time and a place that it's perfect. And but I like scrunching it up more than that, so you kind of lose that triangle kerchief look. They're cleaning the beach. I wonder if I'm in the way. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to scrunch it up more so that it's less triangular. And then you can tie it a second time, and you could leave it and even tie it again to get those ties up. Ah, okay. I'm getting nervous because I'm in that big truck's way. No, I think he's going to keep going. Okay, so you tie it there, but you could also pull it out like that. And you know, with a drapey yarn, you just want to play around with it just to get the right volume, the right. Jenny, yes, it's coming back in stock. It's on its way. In fact, it's on its way, so I could just put it back in stock. It'll be here in a day or so. Okay, so now you could wear it like that, and gosh, who would ever know what in the world that shape really is? But look at how beautiful the motifs look. Oh, bye Vimala, thanks for joining as long as you can. Notice how the motifs still show up at the lower edge, but then you get all this volume, and I just think it's so pretty as a cowl that way, and you can't tell the shape anymore. So the more you play around with something, when you have a yarn that's really drapey, you can really manipulate it and make it look completely different than the original intention, just by draping it and styling it. Maybe if you needed to pin it or tie it, whatever. There's all sorts of ways that you can change the look completely. Do your, no, Sabu, my yarns are not available. Christy's finally crocheting today. Well, that's good. A couple people have to leave early. Well, have a great day, you guys. Let's see, if anybody has any other questions about styling, I am happy to answer them. Otherwise, I will get back to my second to last row on the Morgana shawl turn top. Cindy's working on socks. That's good. I have some ideas for socks, but haven't gotten started on them yet. Also trying to remind myself to do, Gloria, the book is $22.95 US dollars, and depending on what country you're asking about, the exchange rate is just whatever Amazon charges or whatever the going rate is. You'll have to check wherever you are. KB is going to finish an Afghan today. That's cool. It's good to feel accomplished in finishing stuff, right? USA. Okay, yeah, so wherever you buy it, it's $22.95 here in the US. You can buy it from my website and get it autographed. You can buy it from Amazon and get it shipped for free with Prime. And on Amazon, you also have the option of a Kindle ebook. And there is a program where when you buy the book directly from Amazon, you can also get the ebook for free. I forget what the program is called, but I know it's, forget what it's called. Maybe if someone else has done it, they know. But it's a program Amazon has with their books, with the way they sell books. Someone's asking, Kindle Unlimited. Okay, somebody is asking about if they can crochet. Yes, you can absolutely crochet. I've got hundreds and hundreds of videos to help you, including an encyclopedia of stitch glossaries, so you can learn all of the stitches individually, then patterns for all different skill levels. So if you have any questions, please let me know, or if you want to ask anybody here. Everybody's super friendly. So Jenny's working on her tender Chloe. Good job. Hi, Darlene. Glad you could make it. I'm going to show you the comparison of the Morgana shawl turn top that I'm working on with the finished one. You can see, and I thought this was, I did get my algae shot again this morning, Beatrice. I am convinced that it's keeping me calm right now. I got the call yesterday that my dad is now in the final stages of hospice, so yesterday was super stressful and super traumatic for Marlon, and I'm convinced that it's the algae shots that are keeping me sane and calm during this really hard time. So I'm not going to stop taking them, maybe ever, or maybe until I feel like I don't need them anymore. And no, the cute guy wasn't there. I was the only customer there again this morning. I think it's because of how early I leave the house though. Oh, Jenny's making something in Be So Bold hibiscus. That's great. Beatrice, I am feeling so much calmer and more focused with them. The girl at the shop said that it was just the superfood of all superfoods. And when I did some research on the ingredients website last night, I was blown away by the things that they were saying of it. And so I'm not going to stop taking it. It feels good, it tastes good, and I just feel like this calmness just washes over me after I drink it, and without losing mental clarity. In fact, they say it helps focus as well. And I was feeling so run down and almost like swollen in my neck when I first went in there 3 days ago. So it's working. And if something's working, you just keep going with it, right? I haven't even exposed him to the algae, Beatrice. Unless I buy it to bring it home, I don't think it's something that I don't know. We'll see. For the moment, I'm just doing it for myself. Okay, so here's the finished one, and you can see that those circles then turn into more of a pointed scallop in comparison to the second to last row. On this one, we haven't started the points of the scallop yet. See how they're still round? Oh, is it almost Mother's Day in Germany? It will be here next weekend, although I have a wedding to go to on Mother's Day Sunday, but I think Marlon's going to be in a tournament in Miami anyway, so looks like I will be alone for Mother's Day this year. What are you going to do? He was in a tournament on my birthday this year as well. It's the first birthday I spent alone without him, and it'll be the first Mother's Day I spend alone without him too, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Yeah, so we're on the second to last row, and it's still round. It will be on the final row that we do some special shaping to turn it into a point. Oh, I have one more thing to show you. I finished the first sample of my little clamshell purse clutch in Be So Fresh linen yarn. So it's a round medallion with a little flap on it, and I'm going to line it with a bandana and fold it, and then once it's lined, fold it in half and seam up a little bit of each side, and then flip this down. I don't know if you can see that the dark might be too dark on camera, but it's going to have this little flap. It'll have this little flap that pops over. It's a little clutch, a little tiny, like evening purse. And so you'll pop this open, and when you look inside, it'll be lined with a bandana. I'm thinking red might be really cute, but a white bandana with the black design on it, or even a black bandana with the white design on it, or a pop of color. Any one would be cute. I think the bandana is just going to give it a real cute, summery, whimsical look. But isn't that great? So it's got the flap. Are you going to put a sheet of soft plastic to make it not so flexible? I don't know. I'm going to line it and see how it looks. I think I might like it just lined. I think it's going to have a little bit of structure being lined, and I'm not so worried about this one. And besides, I'm going to do the second one in linked stitches, and I think that's going to be way more stiff as well. So still working on it, but I just wanted to show you my progress. It would be a great gift. I agree, Melissa. Even if you used it as a makeup bag for inside, if you used it for a makeup bag for inside your purse, or used it for carrying needles and hooks inside your purse or your project bag, I think it would just be a cute little bag regardless of what you do with it. Beatrice, that's a great idea. Yep, you could crochet a zipper as an opening too, absolutely. Ah, or put Velcro on the bandanas to make them interchangeable. That's a great idea too. Be difficult to get them in and out once you put your seams on here, unless you do a zipper though. But all sorts of great options. Great options. Hi Angelina, thanks for joining. Okay, where's my hook? Back to work. Someone needs a vest or a scarf for a dress they're going to wear next week. Well, we've got lots of options. The weather it was freezing here this morning before the sun came up, but once the sun comes up this time of year, it changes the weather a lot. So I think it probably went up 10 degrees when the sun popped up this morning. If you have time, whoever was asking about wearing something to somewhere with a dress next week, depends on how much time you have, but you know I've got tons of options for layering pieces, so you just have to figure out what you have time to make. That's it. Cindy's graduating college at 54. Well, congratulations, that's wonderful. Where am I? I am at Vanderbilt Beach this morning, which is a little further south than I normally go, but I wanted to stop by that raw juice bar that is south of where I drop Marlon off at tennis, and so this is the closest beach to there. And this time of year, off season, is when I can get parking here. In season, in the winter time, parking fills up really early and I can't even get a spot here. This is the beach where in the summertime I'll be able to show you how the nurse sharks set up a nursery for their babies along the shoreline, and you can watch them practice and get used to fishing with their mom watching close by. It's pretty spectacular. I'm pretty excited to be able to show that to you. I don't think it's going to be for a couple more months. It's usually in the middle of summer, but we'll start looking soon because I would really love to show you. We'll see dozens of baby sharks, and they'll be like this far from the edge of the water. Right where the water first dips down, all these baby sharks will be lined up, and they'll be trying to learn how to fish. So cute. And for anybody who is nervous or worried, nurse sharks are harmless to humans. Not that I would want to jump in there either. Everybody's sharing their ages this morning. I think I must have missed what that's about. Thanks, Angelina. Same to you. Yeah, nature at its best. I agree, Sandra. We get to see so much wonderful nature. Oh, we've got a 13-year-old with us, Cebu. That's wonderful. I'm so glad. Passing on the crafts to the next generation always feels so good. Hi, Lee. Thanks for joining. Even if it's just for the last minute, that's good. Oh, you guys, age is just a number. It's all how you feel. Right? Who agrees with me? Good. Lots of people agree with me. Wonderful. Okay, well on that note, it's a great positive note to end on. Let's take the last minute here and look out on this magnificent view. Listen to the sound of these little baby waves crashing this morning. And set our intentions for the day. Thanks everybody so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend some time with me here at the beach. I hope you enjoyed the sunrise. Hope you enjoyed the sound of the waves. I hope you enjoyed chatting with me and everybody else here. If you're looking for any of the links to anything that we talked about today, they're all in the video description box below, including how to buy my yarn, my books, my Amazon shop, where to find my free patterns, and even some of my most popular learning videos here on YouTube. If you enjoy Yarn on the Beach podcast, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, click the bell so you can be notified every time I'm live and join in the live conversation. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!